Hi, everybody. Welcome to Life Stories Podcast, People Helping People. I'm Shara Goswick, your host. Today on the podcast, I chat with Amanda Trisdale and her daughter, Lita. Together, they have founded Autistic Wings Dance Company. Lita loves to dance. She loves to tap specifically. And they founded this place for people with autism to come and be relaxed and feel comfortable and welcomed. There's no pressure. They get to learn in a safe place where they know they will fit in. I loved talking to both of them. This was a very special one for me. And I hope that you will enjoy this conversation, but also go look at their website. I'm going to list their information below. And I want you to encourage them. If you can support them in any way, I ask you to do that. This is a great company, and it's really kind of dear to my heart. Thanks for being here. How are y'all doing?
Good. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. Now, where do y'all live? What state?
Colorado Springs.
Okay,
Colorado.
I think I read that. I remember reading that now. I couldn't remember. I have a goal to speak to somebody in every state. And so I have a map that I kind of fill in with each one, but I've done Colorado before. Yeah. So
she's a military brat. So
I gotcha. Well, I'm so happy that you're here, Lita. I wasn't sure if you were going to participate or even, show your pretty face, but I'm so glad I got to see you today.
I have chubby doggy.
She has the chubby doggy. He has kind of pushed us off the sofa.
Oh, they do that sometimes, don't they? What's your dog's name?
His name's Jack Elvis.
Oh, sweet boy.
He is.
I am excited to talk to you both and learn about your dance company. I think this is a very big deal. And I'm excited to hear all about it. So starting a dance company is not something that a lot of people think about doing or maybe even want to do. I do have a friend that I grew up with that kind of took over one in our town that we grew up in. But that's not something that a lot of people do. It's not a common thing. So tell me about Autistic Wings Dance Company and tell me why you started it. Why was it important?
Do you want to take that question?
The pitbull's squishing me.
She's like, my dog is squishing me. As you can tell, he's joined at her hip.
Yes, that's sweet.
Anyways, so Autistic Wings Dance Company was completely started because of Lita. As I mentioned, when I reached out to you, she's autistic. She's level 1 ASD. When she was diagnosed at 3, she was diagnosed as completely nonverbal, non-receptive, non-expressive, which is real fun. She's learned to talk, as you can kind of tell now.
Yes.
But all that came through dance. She'd had like 3 years of intensive therapy. The moment we started dance is the moment language kicked off for her. The problem is autism is still very misunderstood. So even dance studios that were like, we're welcoming, we're inclusive, they weren't coming to us and asking, what are the accommodations she needs? What do I not understand? Because they were Googling it, and Google is not the best place to get answers.
No.
I don't think the adults meant to do it. She's a child. She disagrees with me. But a lot of the adults were accidentally bullying her over things. Like, she's got severe dyslexia. So adults were like, well, why don't you just focus harder and you'll be able to read the words?
Yeah, it doesn't work like that.
Her voice, because she has autism, her voice took a lot longer to drop like it does for most kids. And still, when she gets nervous, like a lot of us, her voice goes higher. Mm-hmm. And she was getting told you're a baby. She had some teachers who confused developmental delays with autism and were like, well, you have the mind of a 3-year-old, so why should I bother teaching you? Mm. And she works with some of the best choreographers in the industry. So that's a little bit of
yeah.
And so
to pronounce my name, and it's only a 4-letter word. So which one of us has the mind of a 3-year-old? If you can't say a 4-letter word name, I'm just saying T is very easy to say.
She also had a lot of teachers tell her how to pronounce her name.
Oh, wow.
And
they kept trying to put a D in her name, and she would argue, and they'd go, no, it should be Lita, not Lita. And she's like,
2 E's or 2 L's or 2 D's. Yes. No way at all. And just
I did have some teachers tell me that she couldn't spell her name right. And I'm like, I was the one who wrote it on the birth certificate. I think I know.
Yeah, I think so.
And so she finally got a little fed up, and we were like, you need to teach autistic kids differently. So why don't we just make our own dance studio?
That's amazing. That's a big feat to do. So how did you even begin that process? Like, I wouldn't have a clue how to start that.
The hardest part, she's like, because I did all the hard part.
Right.
By a pit
She's
bull.
like, my dog has decided he's crushing me. Um, honestly, the hardest part was probably getting together the board. It took about 30 days to find enough people to be on the board of directors because we want this to grow. So I overfilled the board at first because
Mhm.
having, 13 plus people, if we have 100 plus kids, sounds better than having three to me.
Wow. Yeah. But 30 days doesn't sound like very long to me. That sounds pretty fast.
You know,
Thought this through more. We did not.
she's like, we should have thought this through more. So within 30 days, we'd had our first organizational meeting. I'd gotten permission to go ahead and put all the nonprofit paperwork into place. It took us less than 30 days to get the IRS to grant
Wow.
our 501c3, which we were told don't expect it till, November. And I come home from a vacation and 30 days after we submitted the request, they're like,
That's
here's your letter.
amazing. That's amazing.
They were like, we do not have to look. This is definitely nonprofit and a
Yeah.
need. And then we went and we, spent time looking for teachers. We've had to turn away a few teachers because they're great dance teachers for
Right.
neurotypicals. She would like to claim their meanies. It's just they don't know what they don't know.
Yeah.
Um, but it was the hardest part was convincing autistic parents and the autistic community that we're different than the
Right.
other, because there's a lot of studios that offer autism dance classes.
They're evil. They are pure evil.
She has an opinion if you can't tell.
That's what.
Okay. Hi. Um, but they have big hearts. They just don't know what they don't know. And
Right.
they're not informed by the community. They're from outside the community. Google
Yeah.
is not your friend necessarily.
No, it's not. And I don't, even after all this time, and I've told you, I have a son who's in his late 20s who has autism. And after all this time and how prevalent autism it is, how prevalent autism is, it still amazes me that people they just don't understand, and so they get afraid to talk. I know when somebody's different, when you see someone and they're different in whatever way, physically, the way they handle themselves, whatever it is kind of startling sometimes, or you kind of want to be guarded. But when I look at my son, and I know you think the same thing about your daughter, he's just my son. Like, I don't think about all the quirks and the weird things that he does or says, or I don't think about that. He's my son and I love him. And I don't understand why people can't see the same, you know what I mean? The same young man like I
Oh,
do. And I know nobody's going to love him like I do. Nobody's going to expect as much out of him. And I know you feel the same way. Nobody's going to expect as much out of her as you, because you're her mom and you are her everything.
well, and it's gotten a lot better since I was diagnosed as a kid. And to have these teachers still not understand. And I'm like, look, I'm 43. This is not a new diagnosis on this scale.
Right. Right.
And then I noticed dance teachers, and when she was in the school or private schools, even teachers would go, "Oh, you're autistic. Well, then I don't need to listen to you." And I'm like, that's not how that works.
No, that's not how that works. I hate that. I hate that it's still like that. So tell me about the dance. Like, how does it work? How do people sign up for classes, and who is it for specifically?
So it is specifically for anyone who is autistic, level 1, level 2, level 3 autism. She's been telling a lot of parents, because we have a lot of parents call up and go, my child is amazing. And they spend like an hour trying to explain to me why their autistic child is great. And I'm like,
Name autistic wings in the name. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I don't understand. I barely understand English. I barely know what people are talking about. Like for 7, and yet you can get a simple thing that's literally in the name, on the dot, in the logo.
I should explain that real quick. We have a lot of dancers who have joined our studio who have been kicked out of autistic programs in town for being too autistic.
Oh my gosh.
So the number of parents we have calling going, I promise my kid is great. And it's like
Right.
what she said, it's in the name.
Yeah.
We have extremely small class sizes. Our class sizes range from 1 student per class to 4 students per class. We never
Wow.
go above 4 students. We are broken up into ages and into needs. So if your child needs a one-on-one class, they're going to get a one-on-one class, and we're not going to charge you for like private lessons. We're charging you
Right.
like they were in the class with four. Um, we have an amazing head of the dance portion of the studio. I work with all the business stuff. Gail does with all the dance stuff. Our parents absolutely love her, and she does not understand when they're crying to her going, but you understand my child, you work with my child, you allow them to be themselves. And she's
Right.
like, why are they so excited about this?
Yeah.
Um, we are, if your kids are having quirks, it's okay. We currently have not started, but we're planning to, hopefully, if we get the money and can get into bigger space, start a pre-professional dance program for our studio next fall.
Wow.
But right now we have recreational students who are just doing it for the fun. We have kids who are really dedicated like Lita and want to go professional with this. We have finally opened up for adult classes
Oh, wow.
because autism doesn't stop when you're 18, contrary to
No, it
popular belief.
doesn't. It doesn't.
So it's pretty much, if you're autistic, we
Wow.
have a class for you.
I love that. Tell me about your instructors, because if you have a specific dance company for people with autism, obviously your instructors have to be patient and willing to work hard with these students. So tell me about your instructors.
They are. Some of them are actually in their normal 9 to 5s. They
Mhm.
are therapists.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And they have all been in neurotypical studios for like 20 years teaching
Yeah,
neurotypical students. And when we came up with this, we had a bunch of therapists in the community go, well, if you're really doing what needs to be done for this, we're there for you.
that's amazing.
The head of our program, Gail, is, I will not say her age because she's like, you do not ask a lady her age.
That's right.
Um, Her granddaughter's one of our students. So,
Mhm.
but she is definitely the grandmotherly type. She has
Oh,
the greatest patience. We've had the news come in to watch classes, and they're like, how are you so patient? And she's just like, that's what you're supposed to be as a human being.
right, right. So you want to go professional, Lita. Can you tell me what you want to do? Like, what is your dream?
Tap dance with
Yes, tap
puppies.
dance
With puppies.
with puppies.
With puppies.
Puppies
Oh,
are
teach them
good.
to
What do you want to do? Like, where would be your dream to be able to perform?
Where would be
Last question, last question, last question, last question. Ow.
okay? She's a military kid, but um, sh- her home base is Las Cruces, New Mexico.
Oh, okay.
And so her hope, like, that is where she spent half her life. The military keeps moving
Yeah.
us back there. That's where all of her friends are. She would love to go back and have that and like perform in Las Cruces and then fly out to New York or LA or wherever. Right
Wow.
now she's with Soul Talk, which is an international youth tap company out of LA.
Oh, that's amazing. Do you enjoy that?
Yeah, also, it's international.
It's international.
Eh?
You guys have kids from all over the world. And you guys get together and perform on stage, and people can't believe that most of the time you guys are rehearsing on Zoom.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I guess so, if they're from all over.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I saw on your website that y'all in some of the classes, it's more than about tap dance, that you teach listening skills and you teach etiquette and you teach. I love that. Can you tell me about some of that?
So, especially in our pre-ballet class, because ballet is so, she doesn't like ballet.
Oh,
Um, Everyone has their one dance they hate, right?
right.
In our pre-ballet, because it's got so much history and so many different words, like the French words and the etiquette and everything. We
Yeah.
have an entire 45-minute class dedicated to anyone who has never taken ballet before. And it teaches you, like, this is how you walk into the studio. This is how you're supposed to show respect to your teacher, because these are age-old respect things.
Yeah.
This is how you place your hand on the bar. And it does work with the language. Gail teaches the class. She's very good at going, let's bend our knees, and going, that's a plie. And she does it over and over again. And
Yeah.
we've got a couple little kids that speech has not come easy to them. They were not talking when we got them earlier this year. And now they're coming up going, Miss Gail, watch me plie.
Wow. That's beautiful.
It is. We want to do the same thing for jazz and hip hop later on. Tap is so much more about the sounds that we don't need to worry about the language in tap.
Yeah.
It really is helping the kids because it's more laid back than going straight into ballet one. It's not as rigid, but it's not as babyish as your usual pre-ballet preschool.
Right. Right.
She's like, is that why they keep calling me Miss? Yeah, because you founded the studio, so all the parents call her Miss. And she's like, I'm 13.
That's okay. That's okay. They're just being respectful.
Oh, yeah.
That's what they're doing. So you mentioned, some of your frustrations in the beginning, but I know that as a mom of a child with autism, I have had plenty of frustrations over the years. For someone who is listening that doesn't have there's no one in their family, they've not been around someone with autism, can you tell people what it's like? Just because, like I said, I know that you see her as your daughter. She's your daughter first, and all that other stuff is just extra. That's how I feel too. But what are some things that other people need to know and understand?
Number one, because we had this over and over. They're not broken. They're
Right.
not defective. They're
Right.
not the number of adults in her life who were like, I love her, she's broken. And it's like, you cannot put those words in the same sentence.
No.
You definitely do not need to listen to all the people around you who are going to sit there and judge you. It is not your fault that they're having a meltdown. I'm 43. I still have meltdowns.
Right. We all do.
It's not that you're not disciplining them right. It's not that you're not raising them right. Autism is not that you're giving into them.
Yeah.
The number of, and I'm sure you heard this too, it's your fault they're doing XYZ. It's not.
Right.
Arguing with them, like she had a therapist that I pretty much almost went to war with. I got her fired, so I guess that was kind of,
oh wow.
but she's like, Lita's got a texture issue on snack foods, and I'm like, okay. She hates pizza. She gags when she eats pizza. So what? If she's not eating,
right.
She also
so don't eat pizza. Yeah.
She also doesn't like French fries. There's a lot of potato chips. And this speech therapist was like, well, we have to teach her how to eat pizza. We're going to force feed her the pizza because, and I'm sitting there going, I'm sorry, she's got out of all the texture issues, she could have junk food.
Right. Exactly. Let's keep that.
Let's keep that one. And she has gotten a lot of teasing from therapists about not liking
that makes
pizza.
no sense to me. Who cares if she doesn't like pizza? Big deal. So don't
like,
eat it.
well,
it's
she'll
not
get
a problem.
They're like, she'll get teased by her peers. And I'm like,
I did it.
How about not get teased by the adults?
Exactly. That's so crazy.
And the number of therapists who were like, well, you don't understand. I'm like, well, one, yeah, I do. And two, I brought you here because at the time she was not, when they were trying to get her to eat pizza, I'm like, no one can understand her speak and you're busy working on pizza.
Right. Yeah.
Sometimes as a parent, you know better than anyone. All the time as a parent, you know better than anyone else.
I was going to say 100%. You know better than anybody else.
You have to fight for what you know is right for your kid, and don't let anyone bully you into thinking you don't.
Right. That's exactly right. Lita, I watched some of your videos online and I thought, okay, here's this beautiful young woman who loves to dance. I loved to dance growing up too. I think I only took tap like 1 year, but you were really funny. Like you were very quick-witted and you were very funny. And I love that. I love that. You have a great sense of humor and you know what you want to say and you say it. And I think that is awesome. I think that is very awesome.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Hey, is that a Bucky behind you on the couch?
Yeah. That is indeed a Bucky.
I love Bucky's. Love Bucky's. We have one about 45 minutes from us and I go a lot.
It is 2 hours from us now.
Is it?
When we were in Alabama, it was a lot closer and she got addicted and now it's a 2-hour one-way trip.
Wow. What do you like from Bucky's? Are there any snacks that you like from Bucky's?
Do you like any of the snacks from Bucky's?
I don't know.
You don't know? If people want to see, are there, I didn't watch all the videos online, but I watched one. It was an interview. Are there videos? Do you have videos of you dancing where people can get to see you tapping?
Do you know where the videos online are of you tapping?
YouTube.
They're on YouTube.
There's
Okay.
some on YouTube, there's some on your Instagram, and there's some on your TikTok.
Oh, you have an Instagram. I'm going to have to follow you on there. I
Yeah.
didn't
I have
realize
an
she had one.
Instagram.
She,
And TikTok.
yeah, she doesn't do her own social media.
Right, right. No, I understand.
These kids don't want to run their social media. Some of them are like
Right.
22 now, and they're like, Mom runs my socials.
Yeah, that's good though. I mean, that's important probably for you to do. So, Lita, do you have anything else you want to tell me? I loved learning about the dance studio. I'm excited for you and what you get to do in the future. Is there anything else you want to tell me?
I get paid in candy.
You get paid in
She gets
candy?
paid in candy.
What-
She kind of, I should explain that one because that is definitely autistic Lita. She, when we were leaving a few of the studios because of her autism, teachers were like, well, Lita should have put in the work to educate me on autism. And she was like,
Free ever loving labor. I'm not doing ever loving labor. I'm paying you and you're not doing free labor. I'm not doing free labor. It is illegal in this country to make children do free labor and illegal for children to do labor before 14.
so she has an
It's true.
opinion on that. So she's like, I get paid in candy.
Yeah. What kind of candy do you like, Lita?
Anything that isn't white chocolate.
That is white chocolate or isn't white chocolate?
Isn't.
Not white chocolate. So do you like sour candy or do you like chocolate candy or do you like just everything, just not white chocolate?
I like chocolate candy and that sour candy and that's in white chocolate because white chocolate hurts my tum-tum.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know.
And I'm that mom going, well, then you don't have to eat the white chocolate.
Exactly. Let's not force you to do it. Well, I have loved learning about this program. Is there anything I haven't asked you, Amanda, that you want to tell me about? I mean, I want people to see this because I want them to see what is possible. You went to a whole lot of work to do something that was important. It wasn't just a fun little hobby. This is important to her.
Yeah. And I would love, one thing about our studio that I have to mention, we have dance IEPs.
You know, I read that. I thought
should-
that was very interesting.
Yeah, I should explain that. And I think that's what, because I have a lot of neurotypical traditional studios going, what can we do? And I'm like, well, the dance IEP is amazing. We have all of our parents fill out like all the background information on their kids before they even enter our studio. It is
Wow.
so helpful.
Yeah, I would
Because
think so.
knowing what their secondary, because you have an autistic child, it's not just autism. It's never just autism.
Right, right.
Like Lita has an eye tracking issue, which means doing pirouettes, you can't teach the right way.
Yeah,
Because if you try to teach it the right way, she gets dizzy because her eyes can't track.
right.
Having the parents tell us like they have had therapists help them fill it out, which is great for me because I know all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, I
Right.
know exactly where they are on their language. And I can go tell the teacher, hey, here's where we are on language.
Yeah, that's so smart to do that. I mean, I know that's helpful to those parents. How
That was
often do
her
y'all
idea.
how often do y'all have classes? Like, do kids come once a week or
So we currently have classes Tuesday, Thursdays. We are trying to get the Saturday schedule set. We are limited because we're in someone else's dance studio right now.
I gotcha.
We are fundraising our butts off to afford a larger studio.
Yeah.
Because we are a nonprofit. We are not charging. Oh, autistic classes cost an arm and a leg, as you probably know, autistic
Yeah.
activities do. We are charging our families the equivalent of dance classes in town.
Yeah.
So we're not charging them more just because it's an autistic studio.
Right, right.
I also found out where a lot of the insurance companies would pay for dance and went, so this is what we're charging.
Wow. So
But yeah.
what kind of fundraising do you do?
Right now, because we are a nonprofit, there's a fundraising on our actual website, autisticwingsdancecompany.org. We're trying to get 350 people to agree to give us $10 a month
Yeah.
so that we can use that to get into a larger studio space. We're also working with a couple dance studios in town to get like a really large space that we can have a performance area in, and everyone just kind of do a co-op to pay for it.
Yeah. Okay, that's
Um,
great. And so there's a place online if people wanted to donate. There's
Yeah.
a place online where they could do that. Okay, that's
And it's, we're registered 501c3, we're a registered charity. It's all tax deductible. I
Yeah.
know times are hard, so $10 is what, an entire carton of eggs right now.
For real. My gosh. I've never wanted chickens more.
It doesn't
Sure.
sound like $10 goes far, but the more you get,
Absolutely.
as far as people are doing it.
That is awesome. Well, this has been so wonderful. I thank y'all both for talking to me. This has been
Thank you so much for having us on.
Of course. Thank you, Lita, for talking to me and telling me some fun things.
You're welcome. I'm not leaving this country, am I?
Yeah, no,
He
I
has
think
her
you're
pinned
stuck.
down.
Well, y'all have a wonderful evening. I will be in touch when this is finished and edited and everything.
All right.
All
Thank
right.
you so much.
Thank
All right.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye.